Once upon a time, there was a village that lived under the shadow of a grand castle on the hill. The king ruled over everything, the fields, the rivers, even the coins in their pockets. For every piece of gold the villagers earned, they had to give a portion back to the king. The villagers grumbled, but they believed it was the only way to survive. Until one day, something extraordinary happened. A traveller arrived in the village with a strange object, a small glowing crystal that shimmered with a light of its own. "What is this?" asked the villagers, curious and suspicious. "This," said the traveller, "is freedom. It's called the Crystal of Value, and it doesn't belong to the king. It belongs to anyone who holds it. No one can take it from you, and no one controls it, not even the king." The villagers laughed at first. "How can a crystal replace the gold we've used all our lives?" The traveller smiled. "Let me show you." He handed a crystal to a young farmer and said, "Now trade it with the baker for bread." The farmer hesitated, but did as he was told. To his surprise, the baker accepted the crystal, and the bread was his. Word spread quickly, and soon the villagers began to trade the crystals amongst themselves. They didn't need the king's gold anymore. The king noticed something strange. Fewer and fewer villagers were coming to the castle to pay their taxes. He summoned his guards to seize the crystals, but no matter how hard they tried, they couldn't. The crystals were intangible, stored in a mysterious ledger that existed everywhere and nowhere. Furious, the king declared, "These crystals are dangerous. They will destroy our way of life." But by then, it was too late. The villagers had seen the truth. They didn't need the king to control their value. They didn't need a castle on the hill to tell them what their work was worth. One day, a young girl stood at the gates of the castle and shouted, "Why should we live in fear when we hold the power in our own hands?" The villagers cheered, and the king realized his time was over. He watched helplessly as the people turned their backs on the castle, walking down the hill, free from the chains he had placed on them for generations. The king is the system, the castle is the bank, and the crystal? That's Bitcoin. The question is, will you keep giving your power away, or will you hold it in your own hands?